Hi, it's Paul from globaltrainsoftware.com, and this is an update, a dev update really, for the xBrat Stocks Predator. So this is standalone dashboard for both fundamental scanning, technical analysis to try and build a really sort of rock star type dashboard for stocks traders and investors, and it is the development pace is really picking up now. It is still available for lifetime license whilst we're in dev. There's a link down below to become part of that beta testing group as we finish that development through the rest of 2023. $2,000 sounds a lot, but actually when this is released, the base price will be $250 a month. So you're going to get this for life with all the bells and whistles as we start to add them. So we've added more to it in the last week, and I want to go through those now. So, you know, the scanners are there. We've put them in other videos for unusual activity. So that's options activity, dark pool activity. We sort of aggregate that data and give you some really good signals there. And then insiders activity as well. So those scanners are still the same. But what we've done is added to this now some more chart sets. And as you can see on the top left now, we've got a watch list, and we can add to that watch list from our scan results, and there's a chat function coming soon as well. So if I go to this insider trading activity right now, if I filter it by date, filing date, and we can see this is the 14th of June right now for those filing dates. We've got lots of sales, lots of purchases. So if we just click on, for example, one of these purchases here, I'm actually going to pick on PRGO because this one came out yesterday and it's on my watch list. Okay, I can click on it from my watch list or from there, and the charts will open. And this is the new bit now. Before, when we released this recently for beta testing, we had one chart. So now we have 4 charts, and this is live data. We have weekly on the top right, bottom right is daily, top left is 4 hour, and then we've got intraday 30 on the bottom left there. So all charts have the xBrat bias depth heat map on there. The top 2 and the bottom right have the manager and the xBrat algo. The 30-minute, and again with this now we can make one of the charts bigger at a time. We can see we have our VWAP Predator, which is intraday. So what I'm looking at right now is we're trying to tie in that fundamental data. Someone has purchased a lot of shares in PRGO, okay? An insider, somebody that already owns shares, they know something. So if we can actually tie that in now, if we've got that confluence with technical strategy type signals, then we've got a really good potential buy here. We can have a look at PRGO on the list here, for example, and we can pull up the SEC form, Parker Jeffrey. We can actually click on that SEC form and go to the company search results, and we can look how many times that person's actually purchased. So we can scroll down here, and we can see that on the 9th of June purchased, on the 14th of June that particular person purchased, 19th of 5th. So we're starting to accumulate a lot of shares, okay? And just recently as well, if I click on it, it's just open on the screen, I'll bring it across. This is the SEC form for that particular purchase, okay? So Mr. Jeffrey is starting to build up quite a large portfolio in this particular stock. He knows something. What does he know? We don't know this, but what we can do is we can have a look. We can go to the weekly chart first. We can maximize the weekly chart, and we can see that we zoom in a little bit, and again we will teach you how to use the manager, but this is very basic stuff. So there's 4 colored candles in the manager. A red candle is a down candle, but it has more volume than the previous candles, than the previous week in this case, so there's a lot more sellers. With the dot up above, for example, that is higher than average volume, so there's a big lot of selling force here. Comes down. A cyan candle is a down candle, but there's less volume. So there was less sellers this week, and then the week after there was even less sellers, and then the following week it's a green candle and it rejected the lows, but it rejected the lows on more volume than the previous week because it's coloured in green. The next candle is a higher high, higher low. It's a grey candle, okay, so it's an up candle. And then this current week, we are looking pretty well. We're looking pretty bullish. Now, it has to get through about $34 to get that higher high, higher low. This is why I've put it on my watch list, because I want to see how it ends up this week. And I want to look then for an entry next week to go long, because where's my next resistance? Around about, between here, $38, and the top here, $39. So that's my target for this swing trade. If it pushes through there, I'll go from swing to to holding that probably potentially all the way up to this pivot here, 41, maybe even $44. But just from that scan, from that insider trading, we understand that this, and then doing a little bit more research from within the platform to say, right, actually, this guy's starting to accumulate quite a bit of more shares in this. It's got a low. It's had that. We can minimize that. We can go to the 4 hour and we can confirm an entry strategy for that. So we go to the 4 hour. We can see this is where we are. Yesterday, again, with the manager understanding this behavior. Right down here, you see this hammer that had higher than average volume, the dots up above, and it had higher volume than that previous down candle. So this was a rejection of lows on high volume and higher than average volume. This is what happened yesterday. Okay, so now we're on Thursday. If we want to be really aggressive, we could look for an entry above this pivot here, which is 33.99. So if we had a 34.10, for example, we could be really aggressive. But for me, I'd like to see it close up above 34 this week and then look for an entry next week. So that 4 hour helps us understand that behavior. Where we've come down, we've got a bullish engulfing on this candle with higher than average volume, with higher volume than the previous candle. This has moved up. We had a rejection of the lows yesterday. This is looking pretty good. Even intraday yesterday, we can see the VWAP Predator. The last 30 minutes gave us a buy signal. So there's a lot of bullish sentiment in this right now. So again, it's working through these potentials from these scans, whether it's insider activity that we've got here or unusual options activity right here. Again, when we look at the unusual options activity, we've got that victory rate there. We've got a victory rate of 53, the highest one on AFRM at the moment. We click on that, it changes the charts. We can do that technical analysis and understand where we are in that. We understand where the strike price is on AFRM and the expiration. So the expiration is 16, so and $29. This isn't really a great looking trade for us. We want some fresh air, so we can do that research. I mean, we've got a strike price here of $100 on ATVI with an expiration of the 17th of November. So that could be interesting. So institutional traders are looking for quite a big move on this particular stock, and they've gone quite far out with this sort of target of $100. So let's have a look on the weekly first. Let's do our technical due diligence, and we can see there's actually quite a bit of resistance there, about $87. There'd need to be a lot of volume to push us through there. We got that gap up at this point here. We can see that $100 is a reasonable target, but it's got a lot of work to do there. So, if we are going to look at this particular trade, we're going to look down some time frames, see if we've got some technical analysis to support this unusual options activity. So we can look down again on the 4 hour. No xBrat algo signals yet. We have got a gap fill happening right now, so that could be pretty interesting. We can look at that stock screener as well if we wanted to do within that chart. Let's just go back down. We can see what's happening intraday on this particular chart as well, on this particular stock. The bias depth heat map is all bullish. We're pretty bullish here. We can see the xBrat Predator have some really great buy signals. Sell signals seem to fizzle out, but again, you don't take sell signals when bias depth heat map is all green. Okay, that's you go no-go gauge. What we've got now is probably an opportunity to add this to our watch list, because I'd like probably an intraday type trade, swing it over maybe 2 or 3 days next week if we get this buy signal intraday on the VWAP Predator, or indeed go longer term when we get an xBrat algo signal on this particular one. So what we can do is ATVI, if we right click it and we add to watch list, it goes onto our watch list there. So this is something we're going to keep an eye on. This has sparked our attention from that unusual options activity scanner, and that PRGO again is another potential. So hopefully this explains the development that we've gone through so far. One of the biggest dev plans that we've got right now is to then start to build some of these xBrat algo scans in for you. So we'd have another drop down where we've got all these drop downs at the moment. We'd have another drop down for technical scanners for the xBrat algo, for the VWAP Predator, for Elliott Wave, for harmonics. So all those really great sort of technical indicators that we've got, we're going to be able to add them to those charts, but also have the scans for them as well. So we're going to have lots of fundamental scans, even some more than we've got right now. Then we're going to have the technical scans, and then when we get that confluence between that fundamental data and that technical indication, these are some really strong potential buys or sells, both for options and stocks traders. Check out the link below. Don't miss out. This is your only opportunity. Once we've gone through the dev this year, you will not be able to get this on a lifetime license. If you get the lifetime license now, you get involved in the development, and everything that we put on, all the bells and whistles, will be yours for life. When we put this out to the public, it will be $250 for the base. Then when you start to add Elliott Wave and everything else, it could be as much as $500 a month. It'll be well worth it. It's a fantastic tool, but this is your time to get involved now with the dev. Help us out if you've got some great ideas. We'll look if we can add that. This dashboard will be the rock star for stock traders, options traders, and investors. Check out the link below and get involved now.